But whether our day is picture perfect or whether it's chaotic, whether the people gathered around the table are the people we get along most with, or whether they're people we're just barely tolerating while they're there for dinner, Thanksgiving gives us an opportunity to pause and reflect. What are we truly grateful for? Who are we truly grateful for? What is the abundance that we have when sometimes we are scared it's really scarcity? And ultimately, regardless of who's cooking in the kitchen, who is ultimately in charge of our lives? Today, we're going to talk about the abundance in our lives, the food on our tables, the finances that we manage, and the king who rules over all of it. Did you know that the world produces an average of 3,000 calories of food per person per day for every person on the earth? Did you know that? We produce enough food on the earth. Now, I don't know if it's perfectly well balanced. There's probably a lot of soda in there that makes up that calories, but we produce enough calories to sustain every person on the planet every day that they're alive. And yet, hunger persists because of disparities, because of inequalities, because of politics and war and greed. That greed turns abundance into scarcity. It creates systems where some have more than they need while others go without even the basic necessities. And we live in the world where the value of $1 drives all of our decisions, where gas prices and groceries and mortgages are the worries that we worry about every day. And even if we have enough, that the money influences how we think and how we prioritize. And often the lack of money, or the perceived lack of money, can change how we act. But consider this. If given the choice, how many of us would trade our dollars, thousands of them even, for more years of good health? That's a lot of years. And at the age of 110, she was still riding her bicycle. Why don't we make someone like that famous? And then also study, like, what in the world got you to 110 still riding a bicycle? Because that sounds amazing. What do we prioritize? What do we value? And how do we serve a king who calls us to value eternal treasures over earthly ones? I want to tell you the tale of two different kings. The first of which is the most wealthy person ever to live on earth. If you look it up, you'll almost always find that this answer comes up, and yet we don't always talk about it. How many of you know the story of Mansa Musa? Any of you, Mansa Musa?